Hello and welcome to our in-depth tutorial for PBX. After launching your PBX, go to Persons. To create a person, click on Add Person. Type a name here to separate them. You can use internal numbers as a method for callers to directly route to persons and to make calls between persons. More on that later. When you submit an email and choose a role, it sets the access level for the person who logs in using that email. The admin role provides full project access, excluding deletion. The user role has limited access, only to the person's details. The simple user role grants no access. SIP accounts are used to connect devices for outgoing and inbound calls. To forward a call to a phone number when the SIP account doesn't answer, add the phone number in this section. Note that call forwarding charges you at international call rates. You can always modify these settings later. After creating a person, use the SIP login details to register your account in your VoIP application or server. Here you can choose to record outgoing calls to other persons, also known as internal calls. Recording inbound calls will be covered later in PBX. This option is for recording outgoing calls made to phone numbers. Select one email to receive your recorded calls. This setting allows you to choose the caller ID for outgoing calls. It is automatically set to your default caller ID. However, if you have multiple caller IDs, you can select the specific one you'd like to use to make calls. Ringing time lets you determine the order in which your accounts or phone numbers will ring. I will add 2 accounts to demonstrate. You can have up to 3 SIP accounts and 3 phone numbers per person, and you can arrange them in your preferred order. For example, here, in this setup, the first account will ring from the start for 30 seconds. Remember to click Save for each change you make. The second account will ring from 15 seconds and for 40 seconds until 55 seconds. And the third account will ring from 25 seconds until 60 seconds. The same principle applies to phone numbers, and you can configure them in the same way. Note that the starting and ending points should be at least 5 seconds apart. Check the online status of your person's SIP accounts by pressing the Refresh button. In the Delivery section, add and customize your emails. Simply click Add Delivery Email. Write a unique label, enter your email address, and type the subject. You can also personalize the format of the sent email. The Media Center is where you upload audio files to use in PBX. Upload files and create folders to organize them. Groups are used for the ring group function in PBX. All persons in the group will ring at the same time until one account answers the call. In the PBX, you can create modules to create a route for your incoming calls as you see fit. You can also have multiple of the same modules. The first module you'll see is your number module. These modules are your purchase numbers and can be connected to other modules. Click this menu button to find the modules you can create. Shortcut number simulates inbound calls. Persons can call this number just like they would call other persons, and they will be redirected as if it were a call made to your number. Person module assigns a person to an incoming call. You can also attach a ringback tone here. Ring Group simultaneously rings all online accounts within the group, following each person's default ringing time configuration, until one account answers the call. You have the option to set it up to call only SIP accounts or phone numbers. Additionally, you can choose a ringback tone. The audio playback module plays an audio file in 2 modes. File mode plays your selected file, and directory mode plays all files in that directory randomly or in alphabetic order. Voice menu or IVRs plays a recorded file, and when the caller presses a number, the system redirects the call appropriately. Select how many times the system should play the message before moving on in case there's no response, better known as the timeout limit. In addition, you have the option to let the caller directly connect to one of your persons by entering their internal IDs. Easily add more links as shown. Quick tip: the timeout link is selected when the caller doesn't press any keys, and the invalid link is applied when the caller inputs an invalid response. The language module routes incoming calls according to the selected language. The time routing module manages and routes incoming calls based on different scheduling, such as working and non-working hours. Also, to set up more than one scheduling, click on Add New Scheduling. Link modules based on whether the current time matches or doesn't match the schedulings in the module. The call recorder module starts recording the call from that point until disconnected, and the file is sent to your email. Voicemail allows you to play an audio file, record a voicemail from the caller, and have it delivered to your email. Forward call redirects your call to a phone number or your VoIP server. To forward calls to a number, select Forward to Phone Number and enter the number along with the country code. And to forward calls to your server, choose the Forward to SIP. Select your transport protocol, enter your virtual number in the SIP user section, and your server domain or IP and port accordingly. The notification module notifies you of an incoming call entering a specific route in your dial plan. You can also receive faxes with the fax module. And lastly, the hang-up module triggers an immediate termination of the call. In this example, for an incoming call, or if one of this project's persons calls 500, the call starts recording. Based on the configured schedule, it is then redirected to an audio playback and voicemail during non-office hours. If it's within working hours, the call is directed to an IVR, programmed to further redirect the call as shown in the video. Finally, if there is no answer, it is directed to voicemail. Quick note: you can set up different emails for modules to better manage your voicemails and recorded files. This is where you configure your caller IDs, which will be displayed to the receiver. To add a new caller ID, enter your number and preferred verification method. Keep in mind that there is a fee associated with sending the verification code. Next, enter the verification code sent to your number. You can add and manage multiple caller IDs and also choose a default one. We hope the tutorial will help you make the most of our PBX system. We appreciate your trust and are here to help as you use it further.